Hi! Who's ready for a really cool visual novel? That was a loud bark. Okay. Alright, this is A Summer with the Shiba Inu. It was on sale at one point, and I bought it like 2 or 3 years ago, and Matt and I started it, and we never finished it because visual novels put him to sleep. No matter what it is, he will fall asleep whenever we play one. So I've just come to the conclusion that he and I are never gonna actually get to the end of it, so I'm gonna do it with you guys. No, we don't need to. We can leave all these preferences as they are. We're also seeing a little bit of spoilers in the corner there. I'm gonna have to figure out the best place to put myself because I don't know where I should be for this because we're gonna be reading a lot. We'll figure it out. But how's everybody doing? Sorry, we were starting late. I needed to eat food. But yeah, we're gonna go into it. Say, Max, you really can't tell me where you're taking us? We're good. Settings are good. Okay. This is Sid, our main character. Say, Max, you really can't tell me where you're taking us? Oh yeah, there's also a bark button. Oh, that's not the bark button. What's the bark button? I know there is one. Nope, I can't tell you. It's a secret. This is my old friend Max, who I haven't seen in years. Yesterday, he said he would take me to lunch and show me around the city. We're currently in the central zone of Taipa, the capital city of Shiba Island. A lot has changed since I moved away. Max moved here several years after I did, so I'm a little embarrassed that he's the one showing me around like I'm a tourist. Taipa is as bustling as ever, with the central zone being one of its busiest areas. As Max guides us towards our unknown destination, dogs mill around the street. It's so busy on the street that it's hard to avoid pushing against other dogs as we walk. Huge digital signs shine brightly even in broad daylight. I forgot that they do this. I love it. Just dogs go across the screen. Cute coffee shops, each with its own unique decor, catch my eye as well. One has lush vines creeping all over the storefront, leaving only a gap for the entrance. Through the gap in the vines, I catch a glimpse of what looks like more plant life and thick tree stumps that serve as tables. Hey, that place seems really cool. Let's check it out sometime. Max pauses to take a look as I point to it. He cranes his neck to look inside. I've noticed it before too on the way to work. I'd be happy to try it out. A short walk later. After several turns, we stop in front of a building. The building is made of red brick with some steps leading up to it. Ta-da! I know it doesn't look like much out here, but the virtual tour looked great on Bark. Max approaches the door, but it doesn't open. He starts catching himself before he runs face first into the door. He nudges the door with his shoulder. It doesn't budge. The door's broken? No idea. It seems like an eclectic place. That's the reason I chose it. Maybe there's some secret password we need to enter. Can you look it up? Already on it. Max calls up his wrist phone menu, making some gestures in the air. We need to figure this out. Some reviews allude to something interesting we need to do to enter, but they don't say outright what it is. What's this place called? It's just one letter. Q. Maybe it's closed today? I checked and it shouldn't be. And if they couldn't update their real-time schedule for some reason, that's really weird. Wait, what's that? Isn't that a doorknob? What? A doorknob? A doorknob. You mean... Wait, I remember something. Oh, come on, it hasn't been that long. Why do I feel old because of the fact that I haven't seen doorknobs before? I sit down before the protruding sphere and grip it with both of my paws. I'm able to turn it without losing my balance. The door swings inward to reveal a staircase. Good thing knobs were phased out, though. Whoever invented these things clearly did not understand the anatomy of dogs. It's precisely why many houses use them for rooms that puppies aren't allowed into. My parents used it for the pantry. I remember trying to bite the knob to get to the promised land of treats, but ended up with only a particularly sore jaw instead. Well, there we go. Haven't seen these things since the arena days. Our eyes meet and he looks away. Oh. Anyway, we're here. The stairs lead to an area with wooden floor paneling. There are rooms that have a raised base separated from the main area, with sliding panels. The panels have some membrane-like material that is thin enough to let light through, but thick enough that we can't see into the rooms. A dog comes up to us in a red traditional dress. It's fashioned with several layers, with a large golden button holding it up neatly over the dog's shoulder. Welcome. Hi, I called earlier and made a reservation. He talks with the server and we are led to one of the rooms. I hoist myself up the ledge, and make myself comfortable on one of the cushions around a low wooden table at the center of the room. The server gives us menu and leaves with a courteous bow. Take your time. I'm guessing you haven't had food like this since you left. Oh yeah. Woof, I've forgotten all about these. Order anything you like. My treat. There are a lot of options. I flip through the tea menu. This place serves them with ancient methods, with multi-part clay apparatus that I never remembered the names of. Shouldn't that be apparati? Or just with a multi? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways. It invokes the image of my parents pouring boiling water, steam shrouding their concentrated faces. There are a lot of rules about how long to steep the tea and the order of pouring water in and out. I never really paid attention when I was a puppy, and after my parents' generation, it seemed like a lost art. If this place shows us the tea steeping process, I definitely won't let a second chance to learn about it pass by. Isn't it interesting that they still use these books as menus? I remember they were pretty much phased out along with doorknobs. Yeah, that's one of the things. Well, this place is known online for the retro atmosphere, which is why they only take phone reservations. No usual order screens either. It's really interesting how fast things have changed on the island. Though maybe that's just my perception because, first of all, I don't know what's supposed to be normal nowadays. What's it like? What is it like where you were living? They're kind of at a stage like when I left here, actually. You saw my phone. They have similar levels of technology in K9da. Though obviously my Shiba Island phone doesn't work there, but I kept it in good condition, just in case I'd come back, you know? You have a lot to see here then. Next time I'll take you out to a regular restaurant and you'll get to see how fast everything is. The server returns and we order some oolong tea to share. I order some egg crepe rolls with ham and corn, and Max gets the century egg and pork congee. As we wait, I ask Max about some technological changes. He shows me how to set up a custom gesture on my new wrist phone, but I still treat it with caution. Call it habit, but I am hesitant to be gesturing in the air on such a large holographic interface. It serves my purpose to use the old touchscreens on a small phone. The hologram just seems overkill. Not to mention, the companies that make these phones must be tracking so much information. They know what we read, who we call, where we are, what we buy, everything. Somewhere, some team of data Shibas are making predictive models and segmentation analysis on this data. Bro, if you only knew. Hold on a second. Okay. We are good. Oh, sorry, I spaced out. You were saying something? Getting confused by all this new tech? Maybe a little. Don't worry, it's a lot of information to take in. Here, try sending something to me, like this. Test. Come on, you couldn't have texted something else? Pretend it's an actual conversation? You're in the same room! Cry. Hey, let's take a selfie. No. As Max shows me how to install new software and customize my interface, we hear the server slowly slide open the screen door, giving us enough time to swipe away our hologram phone screens. 2 servers enter this time, carrying a tea-making set. The set consists of a large, hollow bottom panel with holes to let out steam from hot water. They begin a process of lining up various teacups on top of the panel stand. The dogs carefully place tea leaves into the pot. They aren't using any measuring instruments, but the practiced way they gather and sprinkle the leaves shows impressive muscle memory. With one fluid motion, they pour steaming water in each of the cups. As the tea is steeping, our food arrives. I take a moment to simply look fondly at the egg crepe rolls. The way steam rises from under the soft crepe skin, the smell of ham misting out toward me. It really has been so long. It's so weird that I used to eat this almost every day. And now it's been years. I feel like I've gone back in time. Egg crepes are a simple dish, usually made in under 2 minutes by the breakfast stalls I used to frequent on the island. First, an egg is cracked and dropped onto the surface of a sizzling metal plate. The cook then uses a metal spatula to smooth out the egg so that it is a thin liquid layer. When the egg is cooked around halfway, a thin crepe is laid on top of it, and flipped so that the egg layer is on top and the crepe on the sizzling plate. Then, on top, the cook adds any other ingredients of choice, such as ham or corn. Once fully cooked, The entire crepe is quickly rolled up and cut into bite-sized portions with the spatula. Using the flat surface of the same spatula, the portions are then scooped up and swiftly placed into a takeout box. Hope you enjoy. You can try some of my kangi if you want. I was feeling something light. During this time, the tea is ready as well, and I blow on the surface of my cup, creating ripples. My first sip is hesitant as I try to adjust to the temperature. After a few sips, I can feel the strong tea aftertaste on my tongue. Ah, this is bliss. We chat more as we eat. I ask him about the culinary norms, or about how the culinary norms have changed on the island. Apparently, most of the dishes I remember are still around. The largest change in cuisine is caused by the advancement in how food is produced. Max explains how nowadays, a lot of ingredients can be produced synthetically, which reduces scarcity and seasonality. It is widely accepted that they are the same flavor and contain the same nutrients as naturally grown ingredients. God. What a commentary, honestly. I used to wonder why we have beef dishes on the island, but we've never seen an animal called a cow. I guess these synthetic flavors already existed 10 years ago, since beef has been around since before I was born. I just didn't know they were synthetic. I learned from Max that lately there's been a rise in restaurants that offer wilder experimental foods with completely new synthetic inventions. Max shows me some pictures on his phone and we decide on a restaurant to try out next. He warns me that some flavors might really surprise me. Even dogs that try these things now and then have trouble getting used to some of the most outrageous invented flavors. I asked him to describe something he's tried before, but it was hard for him to convey it in terms of food I know. For example, one tasted like cinnamon and cabbage flavor mixed, but that doesn't really describe it fully. I can only understand when I have the chance to try it, I suppose. We finish our food and reminisce a little more. However, there's one thing in our shared history we don't bring up. I get an uneasy feeling that I should wait a little longer for me to ease back into the culture of the island first. Max pays and we exit the restaurant. I'm quite full and nostalgic. We'll have a lot of time to do all these things, right? Back on the street, it is even busier than before we ate. Yeah, that dog is moving faster than last time. It's the afternoon. Dogs probably don't have much to do but relax on the weekend. As before, the smell of all types of food wafted out into the street, and evening food stalls start being set up. Well, that's what I guess they are. They looked much more modern and clean. From the crash course in tech that Max gave me, they probably have automated ordering and all that, but the street seating and rustic charm remain. We push past a particularly crowded part of the street, and I feel a tap on my shoulder. I don't really think about it, as it was probably someone brushing past me with their backpack by accident or something. I continue walking when I feel it again. It could also be mistaking me for someone else. I turn around to check. Uh-oh. 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 Um. 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 Are we gonna have to redo this? That was weird. That was weird. That bark still got me. We haven't saved it all. Never mind, just start. Okay. We'll skip ahead to where we were. Back to where we were. Alright, yep, we're doing all the stuff. We're talking, we're learning about tech. Doorknobs! I think I just realized something about this game from when I played it before that now I'm seeing. Now I'm like, oh, now that I'm... Okay. Let's, why don't we save before that happens again? Oh, L goes back. That's cool. Oh, you can take that away too. That's with the minus button. Alright, anyways. All these modern food stalls. Someone tapped us on the shoulder. Sid? Who are you? She's a smaller Shiba Inu, but something tells me that she compensates for it with her attitude. Her gaze on me is steely. Way too steely for comfort. It's concerning that she seems to have approached me with purpose. Hopefully, she really just recognized me by chance. You don't remember me. She scoffs, discontent written clearly in her expression. I'm not surprised, but I'm still disappointed. Now I have to waste time explaining things to you. What's going on? Some random dog just came up to me. You're Mokai, right? I remember you. Oh, what? You? Wait a second. Okay, yeah. They just have the same font. What are you here for? My business is with Sid, of course, not with you. But it's very interesting to know that you two are in touch. She jerks her head to the side. Let's go somewhere more secluded, shall we? I don't move. Well, if it's something important, why don't you message me? I'll give you my contact info. I'll convince you quickly. In short, anyone can now challenge you to an arena. But I don't think many dogs know what you look like now. Only a pawful. If you don't come with me right now, I'll post your information online. I already filmed a video of you so everyone will know what you look and sound like. That's impossible. Ugh, Sid, ignore her. Let's go. How do I respond? I don't fucking know, dude. I'm getting pigeon game flashbacks. See, the thing is, at this point in the game, we don't know what the arena is. I know what it is because I've played more of it. I feel like maybe Max will be willing to hear her out. Wonderful. It took me 44.29 seconds. Slacker. Thanks, game. Max, wait. I want to see what she has to say. Would you mind coming with me? He seems to be thinking over what the stranger just told me, as well as his response. If you don't want to come, that's fine. I'll meet you when I'm done. Okay, I'll come with you. I addressed the stranger. We'll go with you and hear you out, but convince me quickly. A tense walk later. We head to a nearby alleyway, Max looking quite reluctant and glaring at the Shiba Inu. They know each other. I wish I could ask him what he knew about her, but the best I can do is make sure nothing bad happens. I need information about this arena challenge she mentioned. Who are you? Sid. She's Hai Fen Hong. What? I look the dog up and down. Up and down. Her face should be the most important part of recognizing her, but I realized I haven't even looked her in the eyes yet. It's a task not made easier by knowing who she is. It's like my eyes are resisting as I force myself, against my will, to look at her closely. Her eyes, a striking hazel, long lashes, her coat pale and fluffy. I lower my gaze. Yeah, now I remember. It's really been a long time. And you've changed a lot. I'm rambling, yet trying to put on a calm front. As I was saying, now that you're back, it's a very interesting situation for all of us. You weren't supposed to just take the feather and leave. It's not like my leaving affected anyone. Instinctively, I scoff and protest, but I know it's futile. Easy for you to say. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, she reaches into her shirt and pulls out her pendant. I avert my gaze again, out of habit. I don't like looking at others' pendants because it feels like I'm intruding on someone's privacy if I look closely at what's on them. She moves closer and all but flashes her pendant in front of my eyes. I flinch away involuntarily. If you want to show it to me, it's not necessary. I don't need to see it. I start as I feel my pendant stirring in my jacket. Or something is stirring where the pendant is. My pendant can't move by itself. That's impossible. Then my pendant flies out of its own will to meet hers. Then comes a glare of light, so brief that I barely comprehend what's happening. Sid! Max's voice is the last thing I register before everything goes dark. 1 week earlier. Oh, just one more snooze. I fumble on the desk for my phone. I almost drop it, but I finally manage to grab it and turn off the alarm. As usual, there's not much time left before my deadline waking time. I'm gonna start referring to waking up as a deadline waking time. 'Cause honestly, yeah. Which means after the 4 alarms that I'm allowed to snooze. Even though it's my last day of work, I should be on time. I uncurl myself from the chair, stretching my sore limbs. Well, this is certainly the last time I'm gonna fall asleep at my desk. The room is dark, with only a sliver of sunlight entering from the bottom of the blinds, giving indication that it's daytime. Slide off the chair, turn on the room light, and gather items I need for work, which are scattered around the room. Keys, cards, cash, cell. I always say I should pack up the night before so I'm not scrambling like this every morning, but I never end up actually doing it the night before. I shove my bulky laptop and water bottle into my backpack. Then I fling open my closet and reach inside for the sweater I thankfully had the foresight to set aside. I can't find it. In the days after I had set aside the sweater, I had piled other things inside the closet over it. Oh no. I shove away some of the other items. Hats, papers, and whatnot. Aha, there it is. My favorite gray sweater. A special outfit for a special day. Everything collected, I sit down on the ledge of my bed and just take a moment. Now is the perfect time to check my emails. Oh wait, I'm already almost late. I'll just take a quick look. Vapor Store. Confirmation of your vapor purchase. Dear @Sidays, thank you for your purchase of Beagle Netta 3. Hell yeah. Oh, it's Steam! I get it. I was like, what the fuck is vapor that's gaming related? Attached is your digital receipt. Product ID number 460790. Transaction ID D09304F53T. Total $22.59. To access your downloads, please go to vapor.dog/account/downloads. Oh, right. Oops. It's the purchase receipt for the game I had fallen asleep playing. I needed to complete the campaign. I waited 6 years for it. I glance at the top of my phone screen. There's still a couple minutes before I absolutely have to head out. I close my emails and open the message app. I could send some last words, but I have the feeling it will only weaken my resolve. Just one. Hey Q. I love you. Please don't forget me. I'll just check the spelling one more time. I'm just stalling, so I have an excuse to wimp out and not send the message. I can't bring myself to directly say that I'm leaving now, but I hope she knows what I mean. With my paw poised on the screen for what seems like forever, I press send. The familiar glass doors welcome me. I scan my fob key and step into the building. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago when I first entered these doors. I had been a fresh recruit. Full of hopes and dreams and making an honest living for myself and contributing to society. I'm just here to pick up my stuff and do the paperwork. I repeat this to myself as I head down the familiar staircase. Pick up stuff, paperwork. That's it. Other dogs start to file into the building and some stop to wish me well on my move to the west coast of K9. Last week we had a small office celebration in honor of my work and departure from the job, which was heartwarming. Turns my heart to embarrassing goo. I try not to admit how much I appreciate it. I enter my office, which is separated from the corridor by a metal door and glass wall. I scan my fob again. This is one of the most secure rooms in the building. Despite that, there isn't much to protect. Inside my office, I take a look at the computer monitors and the well-used keyboard. None of this is personal property, but I'm gonna miss it. Funny enough, my office desk basically looks just like my room at home. Aw, I feel guilty about leaving now that I'm here, like I'm throwing away all that I've built, all of this. Surprising as it might be to the general populace, the research facility is responsible for a big portion of the technological innovation in K9. In fact, the phone that I'm using right now and the associated software was popularized by prototypes created in this very facility. I double-check the desk drawers again and fill out a form to submit to the Labrador Resources Department. All the errands and formalities done, I take my leave for the last time. As I walk away, I can't help but look back at the building one last time. It's Q! No, I'm not gonna read it. It doesn't matter now. I must go. Back at home, I get a backpack with some living essentials, and of course my other set of keys, card, cash, and cell that would allow me to get around during my travels. I reach into my shirt and take out my pendant from Shiba Island. It has 10 orbs, with smaller orbs surrounding them. I have been wearing it all these years. My last connection to Shiba Island. It's a remnant of a life long past, and while this pendant means nothing here, it's one of the essentials in a different land. It's time. I snap open a compartment in the back of the pendant. A once fluid movement, the clasp feels unfamiliar to me now. I have a good, stable life here that I earned. I brought myself here. Giving this up means moving backwards. But that also means letting go of the chance to see my brother again. As long as time moves forward, I will move forward too, no matter where I am. Ooh, I like that. Inside the pendant compartment is a small feather, already glowing now that I have removed its bindings. The feather of truth, whose holder can alter reality. I make a wish. I wish to go back. I bet you weren't expecting this. I said on Twitter that this game is wild. It feels as if I've stepped into a sauna. Within seconds, my coat feels heavy with condensation, as if someone just threw a wet blanket on me. So I'm here. I've not moved one muscle since I made my wish to the feather. But these sounds, contrasted with the quietness of my room, give me no doubt that my wish was indeed granted. In addition, these yelps and commotion really alert me to my situation. Shiba Inu scatter in front of me, yapping as if they saw a ghost. Was it that obvious I appeared out of thin air? This is not good. I can't believe I'm drawing attention already. I'm in what seems to be an open-air night market. I scan my surroundings, trying to spot a gap or opportunity to make an exit. These barks are different, deep and booming, a stark contrast to the higher-pitched yaps of the crowd. I look behind me, and it becomes evident why the dogs are scattering. Or maybe it's just wishful thinking that I'm not the cause. A Labrador retriever is bounding around. The Shiba Inu's dwarfed by it in comparison. The crowd is herded toward the opposite direction. I slink around to the side and duck behind a food kiosk. Thanks to the Labrador, the area seems to be deserted. Now that I'm undercover, I sneak my way towards what I hope is an exit. After some trial and error through the web of kiosks and seating areas, I emerge onto the main road outside the market. Hey, this way. The voice comes from behind me and I start, my fur rising on end against my will. What the fish fillet? Someone followed without me noticing? The Labrador retriever from before emerges as the speaker, falling into step beside me. That was supposed to be a snarl. It didn't come out just right. Did you say something? Ahem. I hope that was menacing enough. What do you want? To help you, of course. I'll guide you somewhere safe. What? Who is this dog? I'll just feign ignorance for now. Somewhere safe? I think you have me mistaken for someone else. I don't want to be rude, but I know you've been away for a long time, so you probably don't even know where you are. The Labrador's voice is soft, quite a contrast from her towering physique. Well, I'm quite used to the height difference in K9, but seeing her towering over the crowd of Shiba Inus earlier amplifies the difference. I don't know. What do we do? I think let's keep feigning ignorance. This is getting creepy. It's like she knows who I am. What does she want? Well, I'll just pretend I don't know what she's talking about. I'm not going to reveal any information I might regret. You're not wrong. I'm just trying to get my bearings here, so could you just point me to the closest Mastiff Rapid Transit station? Of course, but before that, I want to ask you some questions. Okay, never mind. This is getting weird. I should just find the MRT station myself. I just want to help you, Miss Feather. What'd you just say? That's not my name. You've definitely mistaken me for someone else. Sorry, let me try that again. I didn't want to be so direct, but you didn't get the hint. Could you speak up? I mean, Sid, bearer of the feather. I want to help you. Fishbones! She really does know who I am. Okay. You want to help me, you say. So I'll ask this question again. Why don't you start by guiding me to a Mastiff Rapid Transit station? Don't worry, I will. But first I want you to take this. She produces from her pocket a wristband of sorts. It's a wrist phone. I'll contact you with it, and you can reach me in turn. Thank you, but why do you think we'll be in contact after this? There's no reason for me to get involved in whatever it is that you want. Well, for one, I guessed it would be troublesome if dogs knew you were back on the island, so I created a diversion. That's not reassuring at all. She knows way too much about me. Do I have a bug bite on my arm? I have a bump of some sort. I don't know. Who knows? Who the Fishbones is she? I need to learn as much about her as possible. I know you could really use my help. You know you've gotten yourself in trouble too, right? You'll probably get arrested for disturbing the peace like you did. I have a story set up. Plus, I'm a Labrador living on Shiba Inu Island. I'm sure you already know I am constantly in the spotlight. I know all too well, but I'm not going to say that. If she doesn't know I lived in the world of Labradors, I'm certainly not going to reveal that to her. Heh, when you put it that way. But like you said, I'm trying to avoid attention, so shouldn't I avoid being associated with you altogether? I hoped it wouldn't come to this, but you need to believe me when I say I want to help you. I can help you find your brother. Aw, shit, she knows! Okay. I've heard enough. I'll take your darned phone. But if I find out that you're any sort of threat to me, you better watch out. Of course, I understand. She offers a paw to me. Kuai Li, by the way. Well, you already know my name. We shake paws. The Labrador just smiles mysteriously and gives me detailed directions to the nearest MRT station. DG station, huh? That means I appeared kind of south. Good thing it's in Tai Pa, though, where I need to be. I head into the station while the lab heads off her own way. So many thoughts are running through my head. The entire encounter still seems unreal, and it's something I could never have imagined happening. Sid, focus. You need to get to Max's. I find the MRT station according to the lab's directions. Thank dog the directions were accurate. Large hovering signs point out directions to various transit lines. Although I have been in the station in the past, it seems much larger than before, the layout having been expanded and rearranged. I slip out my pendant at the gates, scanning it to pay so it will allow me through. I keep the pendant face down and hope that no one will think it's strange. There's a large interactive display, and I see that there are many more lines than before, basically crisscrossing the entirety of Taipa and the outer metropolitan area. I place a paw on the destination, and a route draws itself on the digital display from the current station to my paw. I follow the instructions to the correct platform, and the transit arrives shortly. Sometime later. Let's save. The ride is smooth, and I emerge up north of the city without incident. It's a quieter residential area. My destination is sandwiched between other similar buildings that were built to be tall and narrow rather than take up the ground level. Approaching the well-memorized address, I feel more and more apprehensive with each step. A promise is a promise. This is the only place I can go. There is an intercom panel on the ground floor. Scrolling through the names, I find the correct one. That's the one. Taking a deep breath, I tap on it. The doors slide open shortly after I tap on the panel, but there is no further response or communication from it. Does Max still live here? I can go in, but what if it isn't Max that just buzzed me in? I hesitate, less than ideal scenarios running through my head. I take a deep breath. Stop it. There's only one way to find out. I step into the open door and onto a lift so small it could only possibly fit one dog. Well, one Labrador Retriever, 2 Shiba Inus. Oops, still can't help but think about it in space in terms of K9 to space. Soundlessly, the lift rises and I am a bundle of nerves. My stomach churns on nothing. I really do hope it's Max. Their intercom might not have two-way communication. My old residence did, but I can't assume everyone has it, even after all these years. I do still have his number on my old phone, but I wonder if my old phone balance is still valid. Before I can decide whether to attempt calling ahead, the lift comes to a halt. No other way but forward. I step out onto the narrow corridor. Doors line the corridor, and I take a look at the order of numbers before heading in the direction of the number 13. Just as I raise my paw to knock, the door swings wide open. You! Max! Sid! He ushers me in and makes sure the door is closed securely. Look who it is. You're finally back. I've been waiting for this moment for all these years. It really is him. He's here. He kept his word. I'm so relieved. I'm so happy to see a familiar face. I reach out my paws to embrace him. He obliges and I eagerly hug him close. He smells like honey and cream, and I notice that under my touch his coat is as sleek and shiny as ever. I'm so happy to see you! Max just yaps happily, wagging his tail so vigorously that I can feel it moving him side to side in my embrace. Max helps me settle into the place. It's quite cozy. And despite the modern exterior of the building itself, He's decorated his rooms with vintage furniture and flourishes. I get a feeling he's really into the vintage aesthetic. Maybe it's making a comeback on the island now? He shows me his collection of concert billets arranged on his wall. All of musicians that I know of, meaning they go back at least a decade. Remember Jay Chow Chow? Someone's gonna have to figure out what that reference is. Oh, of course. I remember when we'd watch his music videos back then on our flip phones. The days of 360p, yeah. It's a really nice apartment compared to Max's old one. I suppose his final ranking allowed him an upgrade. He gestures me over to his desk, and as I peer on, he sweeps aside a pile of old records. Then he wiggles under the desk to activate something. There's a hiss, and a panel slides open on the surface of the desk. It's a touchscreen panel, glowing faintly with a green tint. I can see my reflection in it, along with some menu icons that I can't make sense out of. It's a security system. Pretty sophisticated, eh? No one would suspect there'd be such a system in an apartment like this. The door is actually secured with hidden bars that can be controlled from here, and there are sensors programmed to detect living matter other than you and me. He goes on about the security measures and gadgets, but suddenly, I cannot find it in me to focus. I'm really hoping he didn't do all this for my return, but it's the most obvious explanation. I take a deep breath, holding a paw up to signal I want to speak. Takes Max a brief moment to notice, but eventually he stops in the middle of his explanation. Max, I really appreciate your preparations. My throat feels closed up, and I swallow and chew on air to make it possible to continue speaking. I just want to... How do I put this? I just want to reiterate that this could be really dangerous for you. I want you to reconsider it. Sid. And I think some dog is following me, and I have no idea what she wants. Sid! Sid, it's okay. I've always wanted to be able to finally help you. I promised you long ago I would stand by your side, even if the world turns against you. And now you need to let me do that. Please. His eyes are warm, and I compose myself. Can't be weak. I need to be calm so I can make the best decisions for Max and myself. Alright, but I need to tell you about the Labrador I met today. She knows a lot about me. I'll start from the beginning. You know, I used the feather to get back to the island. I reappeared in some night market near DG Station. First thing I saw was this huge crowd of dogs all running away from me, so I thought it was because they all witnessed my grand appearance or something. I don't even know if I appeared with a light, or a poof, or smoke or something, but I'm pretty sure I appeared out of thin air. But it turned out there was a big Labrador just causing a ruckus, so I sneaked away. Then the lab just appeared behind me. She said she made me a distraction on purpose because it would be inconvenient for me to be noticed. She even knows why I'm back on this island. Oops. It's very, very unnerving, even to me. Max nods his head solemnly. I might have made a mistake, but she gave me a wrist phone, and I took it. Take it out of my pocket and show it to Max. I hadn't put it on yet. He takes it gingerly and examines it from every angle before waving a paw over the central watch face. I've never really looked at a wrist phone up close before, and take the opportunity to do so. The circular face, rather than being a screen itself, holds a light source where a hologram is projected from. The hologram functions like a screen of any other electronic device, but is much larger and can be put away at a simple touch. It kind of looks like a fan unfolding and folding back. I angle my body away gradually until I cannot see the contents of the screen. There's some sort of view angle limit, which works great for me. Sometimes I might be typing or reading questionable material, but even if not, I don't want dogs seeing it. She told me to contact her with this. Do you think I should? I'd probably do it anyway, even if Max doesn't agree with me. I'm not sure how dangerous it might be, but I don't want to compromise the safe house. She did mention my brother, though. I just want to find out what she wants. Max is still holding the wrist phone, so I huddle close to him and read and use the menu. I hesitantly touch a paw to the screen where it says messages, and it opens the corresponding app as Max looks on. It's empty, so maybe there's a contact list? I scan the interface, but there's no back button. I press the sides of the screen, first left, then right, but it's futile. Left. Right. How about tapping it? Okay, maybe sliding up and down? Nothing. Max, you've been grinning at me for too long. A little help here? You can set up any gesture you want to return to the previous screen, but the default is the face. He taps on the wristband face where the hologram is projected from. Oh. Alright, let's find this lab's contact info. Are you sure you want to get in touch with her? Do you trust her? Only as much as I trust a stranger, really. So, no, I don't trust her that much, but there is a high enough possibility that she has information that could be useful to me. It's an uncertain situation, though, and I'm just guessing at the odds. It does seem oddly specific that she knows the main reason I'm back here. The risk may well outweigh the potential gains. Again, with the words potential, possibility, uncertainty, I'm getting deja vu. So cold, calculating. Just the arena training kicking back in? Information on the reason you decided to come back? I snap out of my thoughts as Max starts to speak again. I don't mean to pry, but I'm wondering, what was the reason? You noticed what I said, huh? Well, the truth is, one of the reasons I decided to come back now is to find out if my brother is alive. Your brother? Chen Wen, was it? Right. He disappeared after the last arena. Yeah, I just have this regret that I didn't even bother finding out what happened before I just up and left. I understand. I'll help you find out what happened. Wait, so the lab, she said she knows something about him? She was so certain about it. So while I have no idea her intentions, she could either be a powerful ally or enemy. Either way, I suppose it's best to contact her so she won't blindside us if she is an enemy. Of course, I leave this up to you. You've taken me in, and I don't want her to follow me back here and jeopardize the place. Like you said, I agree that it's a good idea to contact her in case she comes here looking for you. But first, let's find her contact information on this phone. We go through the apps. There are only the essentials. Not in the contact book either, huh? He taps on the recent calls, and there is a single call history. All right. He holds up a paw for a high five. Thanks, Max. Now you do the honors. I tap on the call button, and while it rings, Max sets up the phone to call to block our camera feed. Going to play it safe and not let her get any hints on my surroundings and whereabouts, just in case. Waiting. Hey, good to see you. You made it somewhere safe. Why did you want me to contact you? Like I said, I want to help you. And how exactly? Well, as I said, you probably want to stay under the radar. An eye-catching Labrador like myself would be perfect for distracting anyone on the trail, no? I roll my eyes, making sure she can see my skepticism. While I agree, you're definitely eye-catching. From the corner of my eye, I notice Max trying not to smirk widely. Oh, that's not what I meant. But that will make it even more difficult to stay under the radar if anyone on the outside makes a connection between you and me. So based on that, how really could you help me? That's what I was hoping you would tell me, Sid. What actions do you plan to execute? How can I help you achieve it? I still don't understand her real intentions, but she does seem sincere. I need to carefully consider what I say. Still, since she's offering her help, it wouldn't hurt to have someone to do the riskier tasks in my place. Also, are you alone? Coily breaks the silence before I can formulate a sentence. She might have taken my slow response to indicate silent correspondence with someone else. Are we alone? Do we want to say we're alone? I mean, she's probably gonna already know that we're not alone. We were clearly going to meet somebody. No, I'm with a friend. An accomplice. I don't know why you have to put it that way, but I guess you could say that. He's a trustworthy companion helping me. I didn't expect to have to compete for the position of top henchdog. Well, as you mentioned, I want to find my brother. Before I tell you my plans, I want to know how you know about my brother. Ah, so you're saying you don't trust me because I have this piece of information. I revealed it so you would have incentive to contact me. And I was right, wasn't I? She's so smug about successfully having manipulated my actions. I like how Max is just there like, guys. You're smug now about luring me, but have you thought about how that might make you even more suspicious? It's unfortunate you feel that way, but I fully believe that I can turn you around. What? She's so smug. Perhaps I'm not ruling out the possibility of trusting you just yet. But let's get to the point, shall we? How did you figure out the reason that I came back to the island? A little patience, please, Sid. The truth is, anyone smart enough could figure out that you'd be interested in finding out the fate of your brother. The arena archives are open to anyone that is patient enough to go through the hoops and get approved for access. It wasn't difficult to find online that your brother disappeared after the final arena, but I also confirmed it from the official records. Your infamous disappearance happened shortly after that, so I guessed that you would have regrets about it. Right. That is convincing, if not creepy. But like she said, the records of past arenas are available to public access. Any dog that tries hard enough could put the timeline together and figure it out. What worries me is her understanding of the way I think. That probably means she's researched a lot of other things about my past life. I'd really rather have her as an ally. So here's my proposal. If you want more information, I have a lead on what you're seeking, but I'd rather not reveal any more over the call. Meet me at DG Station, the stall where I found you, tomorrow at noon. A lead? Oh, with that, the call is terminated. That was sudden. Well, what matters is that she says she has a lead. I'll go meet her tomorrow. Be careful. She does seem sincere, but I really don't know what's in it for her. Max, would you like to come with me? I would like to, but only if you're sure it's best for your plans. I don't want to burden you. Nonsense, you won't be a burden. I think I will trust her now and let her know about you. Of course, if she tries to threaten you in any way, that trust will be over. Sid. After that, we quickly plan out the transportation and prepare for sleep. Max insists I take the bed while he sleeps in the living room, and after some protest, I accept. It's been a really, really long day. Look at us, we're such a sad, sleepy dog. So strange that just this morning, I was still in K9 with my job, having to work for a living. Ugh. I just threw all of that away. And soon enough, I'll find out if all that was worth it. I tucked the wrist phone away into a bag. Quickly into that. Hacked its camera or mic. I'd rather not have it show more than what could be seen during our video call. Good night, Max. I hear his voice from the living room, which is the room next to mine. Sleep tight, Sid. With that, I close my eyes and sleep soon takes over me. Alright, so what's everyone's thoughts? How are we feeling so far? One sleep after. In the morning, Max suggests that we go to lunch after the meeting with the lab, to which I agree. The lab, she does have a name. Kuei Li, was it? Like we agreed on, Max joins me as I head to the meeting with Kuei Li. Again, when I enter the transit station, I scan my pendant face down. I don't want more unwanted attention on my movements if dogs see my full pendant face. That is, in addition to Kuei Li's totally unwanted attention. We emerge from underground at a DG station, which is in the central zone of Taipa. It's a really busy area, full of businesses and restaurants. The stall where Kuei Li accosted me yesterday isn't far from the station, and we get there a bit earlier than noon, which was our agreed-upon meeting time. I don't have much of an appetite, so Max orders IU jelly with lemonade for both of us. Shortly after, Kuei Li strolls down the lane, and it's immediately noticeable such a large dog living on this island where nothing was made to the scale of her size. I fight the urge to chuckle at the thought. I conveniently forget that the same could be said about me in K9. Those stairs were always hell to climb, not to mention that I could never reach anything on shelves in stores. She spots and joins me at the table, same time that Max gets back. Hi. Who's this? This is Max, my friend. He's helping me out. Ah, you must be the accomplice that was there during the phone call yesterday. Max gives her a distrustful look and grunts in response. Kuei Li doesn't appear offended. Last night I said that I have information. Well, for full disclosure, it's not completely true. I'm on alert, as the first thought that crosses my mind is that this is a trap. What she said on the phone was believable enough that I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, but could she have just played me again? I mean, I said I have a lead, but it really is just that, a lead. Can't make more sense out of it, but I think you could, Sid. What a prankster, this Labrador. Try to calm down, but something still doesn't seem right about this whole situation. There's nothing glaringly wrong, but maybe it's my ancestral instincts speaking. Logically speaking, hearing Kuei Li out is the best option I have right now. Okay, so this isn't waste of time after all. Please, Sid. You couldn't be slightly less rude? I'll be nice. Strange. It took me 7.08 seconds, slacker. That was way faster than last time, game. Fish stick, Sid, you've gone all soft. But I suppose I can apologize. I'm sorry. You've mentioned my rudeness when we were on the phone, too. I should have taken that more seriously. I wasn't expecting you to remember that. Thanks. Most of the time I'm pretty dense, but I occasionally notice when dogs are upset, I guess. That doesn't mean you're off the hook, Quayle. I'll decide how much more to trust you after you show me what you have. I guess I can't gain your trust 100% just like that, eh? Always pragmatic, like your arena performances. She's probably laughing internally at how uncomfortable I look. I guess that's evident from my facial expressions, huh? But she obliges me and takes out a thick envelope from her bag. She slides it toward me. I gingerly take out the contents. On the top of the stack is a blurred photo. It's printed on a thick and glossy material. From the blurriness and low resolution of the picture, I can tell the camera that this was taken with was quite old, even by the technological standards from before I left the island. That dog is the focal point of the picture. The dog that is the focal point of the picture has a stocky stature and a dark blue shirt on. His coat color is the exact same as mine. It's him, all right. It's good. We haven't gotten to any of the real crazy stuff yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Cool. Got their names.
We're Sid.
Yeah.
Our homie is Max.
Yep, Max.
Our brother that we're looking for is Chun Wen. When was this taken? And this is Quayle, the lab.
Oh. Cool. How are you?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's a lot of reading.
There's a lot of reading. It's gonna get crazy probably in like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Isn't it?
Sometime, yeah. I don't know. Okay. Cool. I might take a break soon just so that way my eyes can get a break too. Okay. When was this taken? It's the last time he was ever seen. He was on his way to the final arena. I also managed to get my paws on his transit history. I sift through the contents of the envelope. Under the printed picture is a thick stapled stack of what looks like a spreadsheet. The print is tiny, with rows and rows of dates so close to each other that I have to hold the paper up to my face to inspect it. Even with a cursory scan of the information, I can tell that two stations appear in turn frequently. KH Station and NJ Station, huh? Kingdom Hearts in New Jersey, alright. With an even closer look, I notice that they appear at 9 in the morning and 5 in the afternoon, respectively. 9 to 5? Is this some joke? At this point, Quayle interjects. It doesn't take any computer to see that there's a very clear pattern. Though I did feed the data through some simple algorithms to double check if there are any anomalies missed by canine error. It's just the NJ station at 9 a.m. and the KH station at 5 p.m. every single day since the day after the last arena. Right. And the weirdest thing is that it's all exactly on the hour. The MRT hardware that captures the pendant scans, does it round up to the hour? Nope. It's supposed to capture the exact millisecond, or some fraction of a second. It's pretty precise. This is it. It's an amazing lead, given it's to be believed. It's clearly a manipulated log, and I can't imagine for what other reason than to be noticed, and perhaps even to send a message. This is great, Quayle. Thanks. I stack the papers together tidily and insert them back in the envelope. Can I take this? Yeah, certainly. Though for security reasons, I'm not giving you the digital copies. That's all you're getting. That's fair. Wouldn't want a leak or something. How'd you get this information? I tracked down a source in the Mastiff Rapid Transit Corp. The source was able to download these files for me, as they are not highly classified. Anyone who has basic customer service tier access could get these logs. However, the pattern might indicate that your brother is able to hack or manipulate the transaction logs, which could potentially draw the attention of the Mastiff Rapid Transit Corp. Of course, I convinced the source to keep quiet about this discovery for now. Heh, I wouldn't put it past him to have hacked his pendant or transit entry gates to automatically deduct the... Wait. I take out the spreadsheet again and look at the balance column. Silly me. Now that I think about it, this might be a clue. Since the beginning of the log, the balance has only been going down linearly, as far as I can tell. A quick graph could confirm that. And on the very last day, the balance was a hefty sum. More than enough to cover expenses for not only transit, but all aspects of a dog's life on the island. Where did he get these tags? Actually, the answer seems obvious. He probably was able to acquire all the currency he desires. Somehow. Ah yes, the balances. Quite the wealthy one, your brother. I did a quick visualization of the data, and it is a straight line going down. The fares are deducted each day, every single day. I didn't notice any anomalies other than the huge sum of tags he could afford to load his balance. That was the extent of what I could observe. You know your brother better than anyone, so I thought that you can make more sense out of this than I could. Sure. I'll examine it closer at home. Don't feel comfortable doing that here in the open. Gotta say, I'm pretty impressed, Quayle. Thank you for this. I pack up the files and rise to leave. Max follows suit and stands, despite having said nothing during the whole exchange. He seems to be thinking hard. Wait a moment. You don't want to plan our next steps? Well, I was thinking I could tell you what I decide after I browse through these. Oh, come on, and here I was thinking we'd be collaborating as equals. Look, I'm grateful for the information. I really appreciate her efforts and investment in this quest, but I don't want her doing more than necessary and drawing attention. This is the highest priority. I'd prefer you don't do anything rash while investigating, and only gather information for me after I decide what would be helpful. You're not hearing me. I've already planned my next step, and I'm not gonna ask for your permission to carry it out. Fish sticks. What a stubborn dog. Right. What's your next step then? I was thinking I could try to acquire security footage from those two stations at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Don't you think that would be valuable? I guess I can hear her out. That would be valuable, I agree. But how do you plan on doing that? I imagine that security footage requires high clearance, so I don't want you to do something that draws too much attention, you hear? Don't worry. If I get caught, I'll take all the blame. I'll say that I'm working independently, and you will not be implicated. You're willing to take the risk all by yourself for this? What's in it for you? You really do have your best interests at heart. I've given you all this, and you still don't believe me, do you? She sighs, but seems to compose herself quickly. It's all right. Never mind what I said. But I'll be as careful as I can, for you. I feel a bit guilty. Perhaps I was being too harsh. And what does she mean, for me? I don't even know her. Just let me know whatever steps you take, alright? And report all your progress to me. Will do, will do. She rises and steps away from the table, signaling the end of the meeting. Catch you next time, Sheebs. She nods to me and Max. Later. See you, lab. Quayle nods and without another word, sweeps past us and away into the depths of the market. Waiting until she's out of sight, Max and I leave the stall as well. My bag feels heavy with the envelopes I now have, both literally and figuratively, with all the possibilities that it brings. Much as I want to start a closer investigation on the matter right this instant, I'll deal with this later tonight. Max and I are going to lunch. Present day, Island Year 224. Okay, we're gonna take a break. Just because it's been almost an hour and a half of reading and I need to move and like blink and shit. So we'll be back in like 5-ish. Hey, BRB. We're back. We have to hope that I did not leave the Switch alone long enough where it's gonna desync the audio, because that happens. I thought I'd never see Heifen Hong again. Heifen Hong again. Maybe really I just avoided her precisely so I wouldn't see her again, given the way things ended between us. The thoughts keep echoing in my head, though I struggle to stop it. It just won't go away. Maybe it's making up for all the years that I haven't had to deal with this issue, given the way things ended. Nothing could have changed about it. There was absolutely nothing I could have said to change things. I have nothing to say now either. Island year 208, Arena 9, Day 1. You ready to see what the fuck this arena is? I shift my weight around, trying to get comfortable. Once I find a position that feels right, I hold myself still. My eyes are closed and I try to relax. It's not a surprise when I feel cold, gurgling moisture under my paws, but I flinch anyway. Thick, freezing gel rises around me, and I take deep breaths. My mask is on properly, and I am breathing. We will win this arena together. I will do anything I can. I'll do anything so that we can stay together forever. Island year 208, Arena 9, Day 5. I clamber up the narrow steps, teeth firmly gripping my loot, which is wrapped in a piece of cloth. I almost slip as one of the steps shifts under me, and I scrabble with my claws trying to get a foothold in the dirt. The steps are actually roughly cut rocks that some dog had shoved in the dirt on the mountainside. It's an efficient use of the natural resources, but sadly not as safe as urban constructs. Though, since I'm not risking my real life, I shouldn't be too critical. Faster. I must get back to her faster. Facing the final steep step, I sling my precious cargo up before hoisting myself up to a clearing. A bit further in, hidden beneath the overgrowth, is my secret hideout. I tread carefully so that it wouldn't disrupt the illusion that no dogs had been around here. I tisk 3 times, just so my faction would know I'm not an intruder. There is no response, which is normal. I near a large, thick tangle of branches and leaves. To the unsuspecting dog, there's nothing here. However, I move aside a section of the branches, revealing a small hole that I duck into. Inside, a Shiba Inu comes and sniffs me, and I stand still, allowing him to tug the package from my teeth. I watch him unravel the package and wait while he inspects, prods, and sniffs its contents. Finally, he is done, and gives a nod. Good news, Fanshu. Those are the supplies I got. Well, never mind Fanshu. Hyphen isn't here, so I must hurry to her. I scoop up the entire bag, not waiting for Fanshu's response. Hastening further, inside our plant-enshrouded compound, I approach a blanket-covered figure laying on a bed of carefully layered leaves. I move beside her, careful not to jostle her, and nudge her cheek with my nose. Hey, Hyphen. The pale Shiba Inu looks up at me groggily. Did you rest well? You still look... I'm much better, really. But I'm glad you got back safe. I show her the supplies, one of them a bottle of wound-treating solution. Here, show me your paw. It's much better now, like I said. She pulls her paw out from under the blanket and shows it to me. As she said, the wound has healed drastically. That doesn't mean you don't need the best care, Hyphen. We can't have anything go wrong at this stage. I soak a clean cloth with the wound-treating solution and take her paw gently. Sid, wait! She jerks her paw away and I'm left holding the cloth over thin air. What's wrong? I just can't justify using something like this right now. Fanshu didn't tell you, but he got a nasty scratch from a trap yesterday during his rounds. He really needs it more than me. I try to take her paw again. You looked fine when I came in, and there's more than enough to spare. No! I said I don't want it. I stare at her in stunned silence, her shout ringing in my ears. Finally, I gather myself and stand up. Alright, I'll go help Fanshu with his injury. But, can we talk after I'm back? Suit yourself. I march off, my shoulders stiff to stop myself from shaking. I had just spent 2 days circling the enemy faction's perimeters, waiting to raid their medical supplies. Of course, I'd also gathered a lot of intel on their strategies and movement patterns. After I talk things out with Hyphen, I should call a faction meeting to discuss our plan of attack based on my new information. Hey, Fanshu. Hey, Sid. How's Hyphen? Her wound is healed quite well, and she insisted that I use this on you instead. What, me? I don't need that, I'm not hurt. Hyphen said you got injured yesterday during your rounds. On the way in, I hadn't noticed him acting like he was injured, but now that I'm standing closer to him, I can see he's holding his body at an angle. Seems like he's trying to only show me the right side of his torso. That is a grammatically incorrect statement, but it's okay. On the screen, not what I just said, if you're only listening. Turn your other side around. Really, I'm fine. I smirk and dash around him, pulling back his shirt. As Hyphen has said, I could see a long gash on the left side of his body. The shirt was slightly bloody as well on that side. An easy giveaway, which explains why he was angling it away from me. It's just good practice to not let weaknesses be easily accessed by another dog, even if we are teammates. I hadn't thought Fanshu to be particularly smart or tactical. Maybe it was just his instinct. Alright, come now. Don't want the solution drying out and going to waste. I'm fine. I'm only doing this since Hyphen said so. Finally, Fanshu stands still and allows me to treat his wound. Don't be so prideful. Hyphen gave this up so you could stay alive. I was gonna stay alive anyway. He mumbled before trailing off. At least that's what I think I heard. Huh, I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Well, I'm not gonna say that out loud, of course. On top of not seeming too bright, I've always considered Fanshu to be disposable when we joined the faction. He surprised me by being one of the last of us remaining. Endure and survive, huh? But once we get rid of the last rival faction, he's going down. That is, if he isn't eliminated during the fight anyway. He was a pawn from the start. I never told Hyphen these plans directly, but I thought she would have guessed. And she will know how I intend to get rid of Fanshu after we've had our talk. Sometime later. In the end, I didn't have the chance to tell Hyphen my plan. I asked her if she'd like to join me on my patrol round so we could talk things over in private, away from Fanshu. While Hyphen's wound was mostly healed, as she had showed me, she said she didn't feel well enough to be walking outside. Which is fair. I still can't believe she didn't even thank me after all the days I spent getting the medical supplies for her. I get it, she wants us all to survive. I knew she wasn't happy with my decision to leave our base for so long, on her account. It was a risky move. What if I'd gotten caught? It was selfish of me. Ugh. No, stop it, Sid. You did the right thing to work towards your goal. No, it's for the promise between Hyphen and me. We promised we'd both progress to higher arena brackets so we can stay together. I climbed down a muddy slope, gripping a thick bramble to steady myself. It's the last leg of my patrol. I'll head back soon. Sometime later. Scrutinizing the forest and foot of the hill, like I do on any other patrol round, I spot some movement from the corner of my eye. I quickly flatten myself, trying to get closer to the ground, to the sound. Yeah, trying to get closer to the sound, that is what they want to say, while finding some taller plants for better cover. Thanks to being on a higher ground, I now have a good vantage point. 3 Shiba Inus are making their way up the hill that I had climbed earlier in the day. They approach the exact stepstones that lead toward my faction's base. Oh no. Our faction's not in good shape, and if Hyphen doesn't even feel well enough to walk... I eye the intruders from my hiding spot until they are blocked by some trees. I then emerge, keeping my distance so they don't detect me, while frantically trying to keep them in sight. Those 3 are all they have remaining, since I eliminated one when I raided their camp. Zenai, Jipai, and Mokai. Zenai is the strongest of the bunch. She's really fast, and earlier in the arena I saw that she packs a mean bite. I wouldn't wish that upon any dog. Jipai is more like me. Less brawn, more wit. I recall seeing him planning a lot while I was near the camp. Also, I heard he plotted the siege on one of the large factions, which eliminated most of them. Mokai, he's more of a mystery. He seems pretty quiet and does what he's told. He's probably the disposable fan shoe on their team. Come to think of it, he looks quite like IU but without the red tint in his fur. For some reason I feel that if it weren't for the circumstances, I'd like to know him a bit better before having to eliminate him. See if he's really just a meek follower or a schemer like me. But that's impossible now. I'm taking him down along with Zenai and Jipai. I wait for the group to get further away before I trail them once more. They've really forced my paw. Maybe I should have called a meeting with Hyphen and Fan Shu before going on patrol, but I hadn't noticed any signs that the enemy team were planning a move. God, what did I miss? I watched them so carefully. No time to think about that now. I need to make sure Hyphen is safe. I press downhill toward our base as the other faction is almost there. They wouldn't know exactly where it is, right? Only the approximate location, right? My heart sinks as they prod around the entrance, quickly finding the hollow covered by undergrowth. Fish sticks. How did they find it so quickly? No, that's not right. They didn't find it. They must have known. It must have been Olin, a previous member of my faction. She was eliminated while on her patrol nearby. Since nothing happened after her elimination, I assume she didn't reveal anything. Perhaps they did press Olin for information. It's just that they waited till now to take action. If only I could sneak into War and Hyphen. Unfortunately, there is only one entrance to our base. We made sure of that. It would take too much time for me to dig a tunnel now, given the circumstances, and it would make too much noise. The only course of action is to head in after them. I peek in and seeing that the coast is clear, wiggle my way inside. The front area, where I was previously stopped by Fan Shu on sentry duty, is deserted. There is muffled talking coming from where Hyphen was resting. I hasten up to it, peeking through a hole in the foliage. The enemy faction is tying up Hyphen and Fan Shu. It takes a painful amount of willpower not to charge in right then, but I remind myself that brawn is not my advantage. I need to be patient and suss out the situation. There's a fine balance between being too cautious or risking a move to secure my faction's safety. If I succeed in freeing them, they'll be able to help me. But if I fail, I'll be failing my promise to Hyphen. It is strange that my faction was caught so quickly and easily, given I entered our base so shortly after them. Stupid Fan Shu, what is he doing? As the sentry, did he even put up resistance? Suddenly, one of the enemy faction barks out loud. Sid, you're there, aren't you? I would have just turned tail and left if not for Hyphen being tied up. Come on now, if you don't show yourself in 5 seconds, I'm gonna eliminate your whole team. I have them here, as you clearly see. Grudgingly, I reveal myself. The second I do, Zenai advances towards me, pushing the tied-up Hyphen and Fanshu. The other enemies, Jaipai and Mokai, follow suit, approaching me. Let them go. I surrender. You can eliminate me. That's not how it works, Sid. Zenai sneers. I've heard a lot about how you make this kind of bluff and somehow end up eliminating a bunch of dogs. You're not gonna walk in front here and make... You're gonna walk in front here and make no sudden movements. Try to glance at Hyphen without being too obvious. She didn't seem worse for wear, thank goodness. Is it a bad choice I'm making? But I sit down in the middle. It is a bad choice I'm making, but I sit down in the middle of the cave, a little distance away from Zenai, and offer my front paws. Tie me up and let the others go. Once they're safe, eliminate me as you wish. My hope is that they rally and come save me, which is a riskier plan than what I usually tolerate. I prefer to be in control and not leave outcomes variable to other dogs' actions. However, at this stage, I trust Hyphen to get us out of here. Even though we had a bit of a rough spot, this seems to be the only strategy that doesn't completely suck. Zenai interrupts my scheming. That'd be a really good deal had your faction not already offered it. What are you talking about? Your life for theirs. That's what they agreed to. What? No way. You're bluffing. No, you think we just waltz up in here without that deal secured? Hyphen, Fanshu, they both agreed to it before we came. Yep, they went behind your back, if that's what you're having difficulty grasping. No, this isn't true. We need to renegotiate. Let me and Hyphen go. He's telling the truth. Fanshu! I knew it. I knew you were planning to off me at some point. What you just said only confirms it. I was planning on coming back for you, Fanshu. Everything is unraveling. What should I do? I turn tail and dash towards the entrance. Even if they made this deal, they'd have to catch me first. But they anticipated my move to escape. Jipai, who was close to the door, runs towards me and knocks me flying. Winded, I see Fanshu shake loose his bindings, and so does Hyphen. So it was true they just pretended to be caught. I'll fend for myself and ask questions later. I cannot be eliminated. I leap back on my feet just in time to see Jipai lunging towards me. Get her! That filthy white dot! I'm stunned for a moment, almost leaving me no time to react to my immediate threats. I sidestep Jipai and run towards Hyphen. What'd you just say? You heard what I said. You're a white dot, and white dots must be eliminated. From the corner of my eye, I see the third enemy, Mokai, charging into Zenai, sending her flying. Mokai, you're betraying us? I take the chance and barrel towards the cave exit. However, Jipai guards the exit and menacingly advances on me. Zenai bounds up towards Mokai, swiping at him. That dog, Mokai, he created a diversion for me. I owe him one. I'll ally with him, should the chance arise. I feint to swipe at Jipai. Cautiously, he dodges. Now's my chance. I dash out into the clearing and race downhill, my claws tearing into the stone steps. Now in the forest, I glance back and see all of them fast on my tail. It is Fanshu that gets me, biting hard on my tail and throwing me to the ground. Should have gotten rid of him earlier. You were disillusioned all along. It's Hyphen and me that will proceed to the next arena together. You! The snarl escapes me, and I take a huge swipe at him. It rips through his eye, and I'm able to pin him down. It would be so easy to eliminate him by crushing his pendant at the moment, but rage seems to be speaking, taking over my mind. Against all judgment, I swipe again on his fallen form. Crimson splatters all over me. Whatever, it's all a simulated reality anyway. I have no time left to spare and leave him there, continuing my frantic escape outside and down the hill. Sometime later. I finally lost them. Completely betrayed by my own faction, I managed to find a hiding place. It's a miracle I wasn't hurt much, even though there were so many dogs against me. In our next encounter, I discovered that they are wary of me. The reason is that, while eliminated dogs usually disappear, Fanshu did not. He just lay there, as if dead. Which is a preposterous reason to fear me, because everyone knows that this is just an emulated version of reality. An emulated version created so that reality can be reallocated amongst dogs of the island. This allocation is based on ranking, and therefore how good a dog is. It could be said that the ranking based on these arenas maintains the social order. See, this is the deep shit we're getting into. And it is in my best interest to ensure that I have the highest ranking possible. I will fight tooth and claw for it, because only then can I gain freedom from my white spot status. I learned that Mokai has the same idea. The reason that he defended me was because he too is a white dot. We ally together and eliminate the rest of them. He says I saved his life, which I don't really understand. But maybe I unknowingly eliminated someone that would have eliminated him. These arena fights get so messy, it makes sense if I don't remember the specific incident, so I don't press the issue. He proposes that I eliminate him, to which I agree. Present day, Island Year 224. Now, thinking back, the nights after that arena, I was plagued with nightmares. Fanshu's dead body in the real world, being taken out on a stretcher. Of course, as per the rules of the arena, I got a hefty ranking as the winner. I was showered with attention and glory by the press, being one of the few dogs to be the winner of consecutive arenas. Sometimes during my nightmares, I thought, if this is reality that I'm being allocated, do I really want it? My feelings for Hyphen were the reason for all my actions in the arena, yet I lost it all. The rumors that I'm a white dot were neither confirmed nor denied. Any qualms dogs had about that aspect of me were overshadowed by fear of my new ranking. White dot is simply a term that refers to dogs born with abnormal dots on their fur. Racism. Okay, the reason I technically am one is that I actually have some white dots on my back, where the fur isn't fully the same color. Honestly, I don't understand what the big deal is, although I also carefully hide the fact and make sure my clothing covers the dots. It's just one of the absurd ways Shiba Inus love to look down on one another, apart from the arena rankings. Class structure. Several months after that arena, I had pushed aside the memories and barely thought or felt about it anymore. I hypnotized myself into thinking that it was for the best, and the self-hypnosis worked. There was the next arena to look forward to, after all, and I was not going to break my winning streak. I vowed to stand at the end of the final arena and look down on all the island as the new bearer of the Feather of Truth. That was 16 years ago. What do you mean, low battery? Calm down, Switch. I fight to not think about Arena 9, but the truth is, deep in my mind, every single detail I remember vividly. The cave where Hyphen and I promised to come out of the arena together. The forest where I struck down so many dogs, I hunted down every single one of them. I was utterly manipulated by Hyphen. That is what I came to believe. But whenever I tried to figure out how I didn't see any warning signs, my mind just comes up with the explanation that her promise to me really had been genuine. Be it circumstances or just karma, I hated her, yet still loved her. And that was 16 years ago. I'm a dog that was apparently in my prime 16 years ago, and I'm still perfectly physically agile. I'm doing great. The technology here is insane. So why am I back here? In this very same forest. We're gonna save so I can give you a fake cliffhanger. Oh, dog, the sounds, the smells. I can't logically believe it, but my instincts are telling me that this is the one and the same forest where Arena 9 was set in. What do I do? Lacking any real alternative, I walk forward aimlessly. The foliage is soft against my paw pads. It would make sense that Hyphen is somewhere in this arena as well, since she was the one that re-challenged me. But are any of the other contestants? Sometime later. I scan my surroundings. I had made my way to the higher ground so that I could figure out where I am in the arena. I can see a stream flowing through the forest. I recall that Max's camp was downstream, while my camp was upstream. If only I could see more of the stream. The trees are blocking where it flows beyond a certain point. It's hard to recognize specific parts of the forest. Everything is like a blur of green. But it's okay. It won't matter whether I reach my camp or Max's camp first. Whatever this arena wants of me, I'm sure I can deal with it. Plus, I'm much more experienced now. Giving myself pep talks, I carry on. My heart rate doesn't seem to be slowing down despite my efforts to cheer myself up. One sleep later. Year 224, Arena 9, Day 2. I'm startled awake, ears twitching in every direction to listen. It's quiet. Maybe just the wind. My nerves have not calmed despite my best efforts. I don't know how I was so good at the arenas. Clearly I am out of practice. The more nervous you are, the more you care, the worse you do. Something collides into me from the side. I'm thrown into the air, flying in an arc almost in slow motion. From the corner of my eye, I see... Olin? I steady myself, eyeing Olin wearily, afraid she'll attack me again. But Olin ignores me and scrambles away. Then from the trees burst two dogs, one after another. They go straight for Olin, who barks and races off. But the pursuers are faster and pounce clean on her. I try to slink away, but I can't help looking at Olin dissolving. She's gone, and I need to get out of here. The attackers glance in my direction and I flinch. Oh no, isn't that Jaipai and Zenai? Jaipai stares at me for a split second more as if wanting to say something. He then dashes off. Zenai follows suit. What's going on? What's going on? Instead of heading straight in the direction of the stream near my faction's base camp, I take a detour. Since Shibai had been heading in that direction as well, he could set up an ambush. It'll take me longer to get to the base camp due to this detour, but I don't want to risk facing and fighting Jaipai right now. Someday I'll decide how I want to say his name. It's been nagging away at me for a while now, but how exactly does this arena work? As I can see, dogs are still to be eliminated, as I saw them do to Olin. But was that a reenactment of the past, or what? In Arena 9, Olin was in my faction and was eliminated when she was tracking down Max's faction. That much I know. But I wasn't there to see it, so I don't know if that's exactly what happened. I didn't even know exactly which day she was eliminated because we only became certain after several days had passed and she hadn't returned. I remember thinking she might have been the one that leaked our hideout location. Jaipai could have gotten that information. Regardless of what they did in the past, and if what I just saw now was the same as the past, the fact that those two dogs are here Could that mean the real Jaipai and Olin are in this re-challenge too? Present day, Island Year 224. Arena 9, Day 3. It's strange that I haven't seen any other dogs since then. If dogs like Jaipai and Olin are participating in this arena re-challenge, then maybe it's dogs that opt in that are here? That would explain why I haven't seen any other dogs. Or maybe they were already eliminated. But since I haven't done any eliminating, who else could have eliminated so many other dogs? Not Hyphen, that's for sure. Haha. The landscape turns more familiar as I near the stream I had seen during the first day. I had patrolled this area many times before. This was the outskirts of my faction's patrol route. Muscle memory guides me as I make my way uphill. It gets more and more difficult to suppress the memories of what had happened in Arena 9. I want to turn tail and run, but self-preservation keeps me from doing anything rash. I want to get this arena over with. To think I believed I had left my arena days in the past for good. After that disaster with Hyphen and Fanshu backstabbing me, I found Zenai and Jaipai a couple days later. I eliminated them, and it felt so good. No, Sid, stop that. I might have enjoyed the thrill of the competition at the time, but I've changed. I left and I went to K9da. I became a kinder dog. I wonder how Hyphen was eliminated back then. It was either Zenai or Jaipai that did it, before Max and I found them. And it couldn't have been Fanshu because... Never mind. I wonder, if it had been me and Hyphen left, could I have dealt her the final blow? How would I have reacted, emotionally, if I had to face her one-on-one? Wrong as it sounds, I'm secretly grateful that Zenai and Jaipai saved me the trouble of dealing with Hyphen again. I near the cave, slowing my pace to a crawl as I try not to make any sound. There it is. The cave entrance, so familiar to me, yet so eerie to see again. I have a strange urge to go inside, as if it were a museum that stored my memories in a pristine state before anything went to pieces. But I shake my head, tearing my eyes away. I circle around to the side to find a hiding place, listening carefully in case anyone comes. I should be careful. I really don't think a re-challenge is supposed to make contestants friendlier toward me than the first time around. Several hours later, I shift around in my hiding place. It's been quiet since I started camping out. I guess if there's no activity by tomorrow, I'll just go inside the cave. Year 224, Arena 9, Day 4. I jolt upright. What? I fell asleep. Spit it out, Fanshu. Fanshu. I poke my head out as much as I can. It is him. I swipe at him. Red erupts. It's all a simulation anyway. It's fake. A lifeless body taken away on a stretcher. Dogs muttering as we exit the ARI Simulation Center. She's a killer. She'll kill you in the arenas. Better not be in the same bracket as her. Did you hear? She's a white dot. One of the contestants in that Arena 9 says she saw it. Shh, don't want to get killed. It's Fanshu. Moving. Talking. How is he here? What is this? Could he still be alive? Or can the dead participate in arenas? Tell me now, you hear? I try to get a closer look at who Fanshu is talking to. They're shrouded by the foliage of the cave entrance. No. It's all I can do to stop myself from screaming. The large dog swipes Fanshu, and Fanshu falls, yelping. Fanshu shields his side from me as I try to offer him the healing solution Hyphen rejected. Your faction's been nothing but trouble. Why should I believe you? I'm serious. Sid's not here. She eliminated Fen Yuan, I'm sure of it. No, you're wrong. Hyphen and I did that. Oh. Wait, what? I did eliminate that dog. Fen Yuan, in the past. But I didn't eliminate any dogs this time. Alright then, though I swear it was Sid. I know what you mean. I thought Sid was in our faction, but Hyphen says it's just my mind playing tricks. And for some reason I heard about her raiding your faction for medical supplies. But she's not working with us. I do have some supplies that are valuable, but I don't recall anyone trying to steal them. Since you know about those supplies, you're not convincing me that Sid's not working with you. The dog stomps and Fanshu flinches. There's something weird about Sid. I keep thinking I've seen her when I haven't. I'm telling the truth, she hasn't been here. Now that you mention it, I do recall seeing her some days ago, but I must have been imagining it too. That would mean she was in two places at once. It doesn't make sense. You're right. Fine, then. Then, what did you make me come all this way to tell me? I propose that we team up. Are you kidding me? The dog that Fanshu is talking to kicks him. Fanshu whines and the other dog moves, and finally I can see it. That's Zenai! Serious, we want to find Sid and eliminate her. Whether Fanshu is alive or dead, I still need to make sure I survive this. And why do we need to team up for that? You've heard how she's ranked in the past, no? Well, I know she's a threat, but so am I! I don't disagree, but Hyphen said she knew Sid before this arena. Sid's gotten the top spot in every single arena she's ever been in. I didn't know that. Well, if Hyphen is so worried about Sid, why doesn't she go find Sid herself? Like I said, Sid's too dangerous. But here's our proposal. Sid is a white dot, and Hyphen will be the bait. Now that makes a lot of sense. I shriek instinctively. My face burning red with embarrassment, even though I don't think they can see me. Why won't they just let me live? Hyphen will be back soon, and we'll discuss the details if you stick around. And let myself be in a 2 versus 1 situation? No thanks. Fine, I'll tell you the plan and you get your faction to follow it. You and your faction come here tomorrow at noon. The entrance to our cave is here. Wait for Sid to show up, and then pretend to capture me and Hyphen. Alright, it's a deal. She rises and heads off downhill. Fanshu pushes aside the brambles hiding the cave and disappears within. What a load of trouble. Girl, you could take him out right now. He's alone. I'm just saying. I'm still camping in the same spot when I hear some steps approaching from the stone path. It's her. I watch as she disappears into the cave. Are they gonna set up the ambush? It's an ambush that I remember very clearly from the past Arena 9. I fell for it, collar, leash, and clasp. Don't know what they're thinking, though. I definitely wouldn't fall for it this time around. Feeling silly, but having no better course of action, I continue to camp outside. Some time later, around midday, 2 dogs emerge. Hyphen, looking agitated, paces around the clearing. Fanshu stands near the cave exit, eating something. Everything is in place, but where on earth is Sid? Don't worry, once we have the other faction's help, we can find her. Oh, right. Hyphen whips around and glares at Fanshu. Fanshu, forget that deal. When Zenai's faction comes in, we're gonna eliminate them. Wait, but you just said yesterday. The plan's changed, Fanshu. Her expression softens and she approaches him. I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've seen you. Why am I speaking like this to you? She shakes her head. When Zenai and company arrive, we're gonna catch and eliminate them. But it's 3 versus 2. Are we gonna be okay? Hyphen touches Fanshu's face with a paw. Look, Fanshu, I'm no longer the same dog, you know. I'll take care of it. Some time later. Muffled voices catch my attention as they grow louder. I'm not surprised to recognize them as belonging to Zenai, Jipai, and Mokai. Instinctively, I tense and scan for places to run. Wait. Relax. Just wait. Sure, there are safer places for me to be right now, but I need to stay put to see what happens. The trio approached the cave. Even though Fanshu and Zenai are the same dog, but whatever. The trio approached the cave from the stone steps, just like how I had witnessed in the past. They prod around the entrance and lift away the foliage hiding it. What do I do now? If all goes according to Hyphen's plan, then those 3 will be eliminated. And then what? Hyphen's trying to find me. That I heard from Fanshu and Zenai's conversation. So should I bother sticking around to see what happens? I'm gonna save. That's the bark button. Okay, cool. Fittingly, a good location to do that would be the forest clearing where I first eliminated Fanshu. Oh, fuck, I don't know what I want to do. Like, part of me wants to watch it just to see if it's the same as it was before. But part of me is also like, if I want to survive, I can't be here right now. And I think the survival is the most important thing, so I'm gonna go to the forest. I softly move from my hiding spot to the stone steps, keeping an eye on the cave entrance in case anyone comes out. First, I'm gonna leave a fake trail. Trample some of the foliage and leave some paw prints purposefully directed downhill. Now I gotta get to the forest with enough time to set up an ambush. Once I made it far enough, I start jumping down the steps 2 by 2. At the foot of the hill, I leave some more paw prints heading further into the forest. Now I double back, making sure to tread lightly and hide on a small bank overlooking the path. You know what they say, as long as you're crouching, the enemy will never hear you, never see you. Just press C. I don't have a C. If they don't come by after a while, I'll have to go back up to the cave to see what happened. It'd be great if they all eliminated each other. That would save me so much trouble. Some moments later. Fish sticks, we lost them. Hyphen and Fanshu poke around near one of the fake tracks I had left, a distance off. I perk my ears trying to listen in. At least we got the other 2. Yes, but how could he have suddenly gained so much on us? Hyphen looks around, quickly jogging to follow more of my fake paw prints. Keep going, just a bit further. They're almost below where I'm hiding. If they go a bit further, then I can catch them unawares from behind. The 2 of them continue down the path, and I prepare myself to follow them. Hyphen starts running back, right up the bank towards me. Stay put. Stay put. She doesn't know I'm here. Maybe something caught her eye. She'll turn back any time now. It's too late. She's too close. No other choice. I leap up and run down the bank. On the forest path, Hyphen and Fanshu corner me. Hey, Fanshu, aren't we on the same faction? You're not following the plan. Yes, we are in the same faction, but... How dare you? Hyphen lunges at me. You're a monster. No, what are you talking about? He's not even real. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Gotcha. Max, or Mokai as he was called at the time, jumps on Hyphen. I pounce on Fanshu while Hyphen is distracted. Since I already knew that Fanshu has a wound on his side, I immediately swipe at it, giving the swing all that I've got. He falls immediately, howling, and the music stopped. Oh good, we fucking killed him again. Haha. Hyphen strikes Smoke-Eye. Max! Sorry I couldn't save you this time around, old friend. But I don't think you're real here. Hyphen turns, starting when she sees Fanshu in pain. Didn't make a move to eliminate Fanshu while he's down, instead standing still and facing Hyphen. Look, I didn't mean to kill him in the past. What's the point of telling me all of this, all these years after? You can't change the fact that you killed him. I'm not denying that. Who'd you kill? Hyphen and I both ignore him. I'm not naive enough to think that if you don't kill him now, that he'd be alive again. Who knows, maybe the feather can revive dead dogs. I haven't tried, but to be honest with myself, I doubt it. But I told you that if you lose this arena, the feather goes to me, remember? Why don't you eliminate him now? I mean, I am afraid of that, but also... both of these things are true. I need every edge over her. She's gonna kill me for real. I walk up to Fanshu's lying figure and feel up his torso to the telltale shape of a pendant. Once found tucked inside the left of his shirt, I push down on it. Huh, good riddance. As his body starts dissolving, I swipe at the particles, mimicking the past arena where I completely lost my mind in anger. Deep down, I know it's unnecessary, cruel even. To put it lighter, I seem like a puppy with a tantrum. At least his arena body is dissolving properly this time. Hyphen just watches me with a strange expression. It seems tinged with sorrow, but most likely, it's disgust. You know, a part of me wanted to believe that you'd kill Fanshu on purpose, but... She ducks her head as if to prevent herself from saying more. It was a complete accident, but no one listened to me when I said so. So that has been taken as the truth, that I'm a ruthless arena killer. If you say something so horrible about a dog again and again, the dog might just believe it. If she and the public wanted that to be the truth so badly, well, guess what? They made it become true. Ugh. Even though I was the one that re-challenged, I can't even look at you. I can't stand you. Then, without warning, she dashes off. Without a second thought, I give chase, my claws kicking up the dirt. I'd always been faster than her and catch up to her within 10 meters. Tackle her. I throw her down to the ground by her neck, ready to hold her down with my forelegs. She rolls to the side and I miss. Her movements aren't fast enough to put distance between us and I fling myself on her again. This time, I managed to pin her down proper. You never had to fight in the real world, have you? It's not even about brute force, like I always believed, especially when you try to play wrestle with dogs twice your size. It's about being able to let go of rationality. Doing what the others wouldn't expect. You don't know how I've changed, and probably are basing your expectations off of how I acted in the past. It's so damn easy to eliminate you. I'm just ranting at the moment. I am aware. I can't stop it. The misunderstandings festering over 15 years just overfilling, spilling out of me. Hyphen is struggling against me and is putting up a good effort too. I don't have time to waste. Bro, don't ask me this! I want to do all of these things. I feel like if I do this, she's gonna kill me. She might kill me if I do this. Hey Finn, can I ask you a question? Suit yourself. She struggles against me, but I push her down firmly. She shrugs as if to show me she has no chance but to humor me. Choice. That's what I imagine anyway. I've always tended to interpret her behavior in my own, perhaps selfish way. Well, my question is, did you really think I was a cold-blooded killer for all these years? Of all things to ask, could it be something less obvious? It's so like you to obsess over how other dogs view you. Look, that's how I used to be. I've lived much more. I've grown. But as I protest, I can see how, to her, I haven't changed. I just thought you'd realize it was a misunderstanding. I guess I shouldn't have been so optimistic to think you'll let go of your completely wrong opinion so easily. I lean over her. It's time to end this. She looks up to meet my eyes, but she doesn't resist. She can see in my face that my mind is made. She's resigned to the reality that I will eliminate her right here and right now. Finding the pendant under her shirt, I press down on it. I'm back in this body. So tired of this body. Cumbersome and heavy. My body's so heavy, and leaning on another dog, I can barely make out that it's Max. Thanks for keeping me safe. Okay. Max rests me in his bed, and I can only sink into the sheets, lacking the strength to pull them up higher to my chin. Sometime later. I meet with Kuei Li at the night market again. She says she's gathered more information about my brother. The last time we spoke, she said she would try to dig up some security camera footage. I wonder if her tip is about that? I've also tried investigating on my own, but to no avail. I went to check out the 2 stations that Chen Wen had rigged his MRT transaction records to show, day after day. NJ station and KH station. I wonder if, instead of having rigged the records, he really did live in one of those areas after I left the island. But transaction timestamps are caninely impossible. No dog could physically scan its pendant at the MRT gates consistently, down to the millisecond. Regardless, after visiting NJ station and KH station, my trail had run cold. I have no idea about Chen Wen's fate. I have no idea what he could be doing in those 2 locations. I'm so ashamed that I ran away, but that's what I'm trying to fix now. I want to know where he is. I want to know how he's doing. And there's just the feeling that something is wrong. Why set the transaction times to 9 and 5? Is it a hint pointing to a work facility? A dog of his ranking wouldn't have that sort of activity pattern anyhow. Day to day, he wouldn't even need to use public transit if he wished. Though, I wouldn't put it past him to take the transit just to try it. I order an Ayu jelly lemonade, my favorite drink. Well, second to bubble milk tea. Just after I get my order and return to my seat, I spot Kuei Li coming in. For fun, I don't wave to her, just curious to see how long it takes her to find me. That's big thunder outside. Is it supposed to storm tonight? Oh yeah. Severe thunderstorm warning from 11:42 p.m. CDT, which it's already past that until Wednesday 12:15 CDT. And it's supposed to rain a lot tomorrow. Okay, cool. I don't have to water the plants. Oh, I hear it raining. It is raining outside. That's heavy. Right, anyways, we're gonna go through this story beat, and then, I don't have the cable in here to charge the controllers, so, but that's fine. It's basically midnight, so I want to be getting ready for bed soon anyways. She spots me very quickly. Hey, there you are. Hi, Quaylee. She plops down across from me. How are you doing? I'm good. I'm alright. I hope you have something helpful for me today. I do, in fact. Though you're not going to ask me how I'm doing, cold and straight to the business, as usual. Huh. How are you doing? Quaylee grins cheekily, smug that I listened to her. The truth is, she has grown on me, despite my efforts not to get close. See, It starts with small asks. You get used to saying yes, and then it escalates, you know? I'm still suspicious. After the initial distance I put between us, she's yet to demonstrate any ulterior motive. Yeah, maybe she's just really good at being an op. Hopefully this won't be a mistake. I've made so many mistakes in the past, trusting dogs that offer me a deal too good to be true. Well, I've been good. I've been great. Just waltzing my way around town as only a Labrador can. There, you happy now? That response wasn't anything of substance. I didn't even need to know that. It doesn't enhance our relationship or trust. Why would you care if I asked how you're doing? At this point, I'm just messing with her. Part of me is just curious as to how she would respond. Well, your answer was also just, I'm good, I'm alright, which is typically just a canned response. But the way you said, I'm alright, makes me feel like it's not alright. So there was some information to be gleaned, and therefore it wasn't a useless question. From that, I think I deserve to be judged based on even ground here. Okay, fine. You're right, I'm not that alright. I'm feeling a bit down. In fact, I tried poking around the 2 locations from the travel logs. I didn't get any results. The area was just too broad, and I know nothing about how my brother is related to those 2 areas. You know, I'm a bit surprised you'd even admit that you're feeling down. Said I researched would never say that. Yeah, I would never say something like that to a busybody stranger like you. Stick out my tongue trying to make it clear I'm just joking. Though, to be honest, I have mellowed down considerably since those arena years, if I do say so myself. But you know, some habits do remain. In the re-challenged Arena 9 with Hyphen yesterday, I was afraid of the sides of me it reawakened. And I was afraid of how quickly my mind relapsed to scheme ruthlessly against others. Yeah, that explains why you're still so rude and cold. Even though I'm the one that gave you the last solid lead you have about your brother. Maybe this one will really warm you up to me. She prayerfully makes a flourish with her paws. I take a sip of my lemonade. The IU jelly is so juicy and refreshing. Good. I'm listening. Well, I was able to get some security footage. The unfortunate part is that there's still no real sign of him on the dates after the final arena. Right. I suppose that's it then? The lead is that? There's no trace of him? Say, Quaylee? Yes, Ed? I'm gonna be frank with you. Her ears perk up and she looks at me attentively, but also in a way that seems like she's bracing for a rude comment or a joke. Not because I fully trust you, but, you know, it might help the investigation. You know what? I'll take that. Though my instinct tells me it's a mixture of both, you're just saying it's for the investigation so you don't have to admit you're starting to trust me. I grin at her sheepishly. That's not how this works. But anyway, back on topic. I'm really concerned about whether my brother is even... if he's even alive. Quaylee lets out a heavy sigh. Right, I get it. If you haven't seen him in ages. I nod. You have no idea where he might be. I nod. The island is a dangerous place. I nod. For dogs that don't rank high like your brother. My point is, there's no reason for him to be in danger. It's more likely that he's gone into hiding. Right. I want to object. The previous day's arena encounter coming to mind. I have the highest ranking for dog's sake, and I still get threatened and targeted. Maybe Chen-Wen is being targeted as well, despite not being the bearer of the feather. I think I will tell Kuei Li about the re-challenge arena when I have the chance. I think I trust her enough to. So, say he's alive. Is there anything in the footage to support that? Well, in the footage of the days before your last arena, he physically showed up at the stations around 9 and 5. But the timestamps when the cameras captured him scanning his pendant aren't the exact same as what's on the transaction logs. For example, the logs show 9 daily, but on the cameras it's more of a caninely possible situation, such as 9:01:53. He would arrive on time, but since there are other dogs in front of him, he couldn't control exactly when he scans his pendant on the gate. Another interesting thing the footage shows is that he was wearing some sort of uniform. With that, she plucks a photo out of her bag. It's the same uniform for a few days in a row, before the day of the final arena. I think this could be a hint. I squint and peer close at the picture. It's very blurry and hard to make out the lettering on the uniform. It's likely a logo, and just being able to have this image captured is a great lead. Do you recognize the uniform at all? I wish, but no. Do you? I have some ideas, but I didn't have the time to double check. I'll send you a list of anything remotely similar to it. Maybe something will ring a bell? I guess I'm a bit surprised. The reason I didn't do more in-depth research is that I thought you'd recognize something that your brother wore so often. Not to make you feel bad about it or anything. I'll just do a more thorough check of businesses and work facilities in the area. Well, you're right to be surprised. We are siblings after all. It's a safe assumption that I might know something, but the truth is, we weren't living together at the time anymore. Sure, we messaged and met up now and then, but I was focused on my high-tier arenas, and so was he. At the time, it seemed like everything was coming to an end so soon. So I just toughed it out, barely in contact with anybody. I knew he was doing well in his arenas, but who'd have known that our brackets would meet just like that? It was a bracket that made the news, for sure. But it wasn't half as scandalous as the news when the winner just ran away with the very prized feather that kept dogs motivated to win the arenas. I mean, I knew it was unavoidable to be talked about, but I wasn't around to know what was said about me. I've still been too ashamed to ask Max about what happened after I left. I could also look up news articles, but same thing, too embarrassed. Don't worry about it. It was mostly unfounded speculation. Only you know the truth of what happened. It's your life. I guess so. Anyway, I'll hold on to this photo, and you should send me a list of places that you think it might be from. Yep, there's a list that I quickly generated from an image recognition search. I just haven't gone through them manually yet to see what might make sense. That can be our next step. Thanks a lot for the help. You're welcome. You know what? Want to go to the 2 stations and walk around? Maybe we'll happen upon something. Hey, that's a good idea. I finished my beverage and washed the sweet aftertaste down with a sip of water. I put the photo of my brother securely inside my sweater, and we set off. At the MRT, I used my usual method to enter the stations, hiding my pendant face. First, we travel to NJ Station. It's near the Central Zone, 2 stops down the Green Line from our current location. We decide to comb through the area street by street. Quaylee pulls up a map on her wrist phone and we stroll down one street, then walk around one block, covering all sides. We then move on to the next block. By the way, Quaylee, I need to tell you something. Quaylee looks over and nods, signaling her attention. So, I was challenged to some sort of arena rematch yesterday. Quaylee stops in her tracks, her expression concerned. Go on. It was one of the runner-ups from my 9th arena. Somehow she found me after my lunch with Max. I didn't believe her at first, but when she took out her pendant, mine reacted to it. We entered an arena, generated for just the two of us. But this re-challenge arena was some sort of replay of the actual arena that happened between the two of us. It was weird. I had the consciousness of me in the past arena. I don't know if that makes sense. It wasn't a new arena from scratch, but like I said, a re-challenge. That's the term the challenger used. Both of us were free to act as we wished, but the other participants in the arena all acted the same as they did in the past, or only changed minorly in reaction to me or the challenger's new actions. It was like we were given the chance to change what we could have liked to change, and the arena would run its course with the decisions of our present selves. But I already knew what happened in the past arena. That's the thing. So that knowledge helped me deal with the other participants, even if I was clueless as to how the re-challenge arena worked at first. I was able to outwit the challenger herself as well, so I won this one. And that's why I'm worried that if I'm being targeted and allowed to be re-challenged one-on-one, the same could happen to my brother as well. Quaylee is silent, processing the information. Did the challenger tell you what she would be getting out of this? She said that if any re-challenger wins, they will get the Feather of Truth. Just like that? I shrug. She wasn't very clear about it, but my pendant reacted to her, so I imagined something was programmed in place. You remember how, in official ARI regulations, regulated arenas, we go to those rooms and then we are connected to the emulated reality with our pendants? Our pendants still connected us, but this time out in the open, not in the ARI buildings, and just one-on-one. Interesting and strange, but I believe it. Though it's so unfair that they could just take the feather if they win. Decades of your hard work down the drain just like that. I love her little spinny face. It's cute. Perhaps it is unfair, but maybe it's just righting the wrong that the feather went to someone like me. Sounds like someone's feeling awfully guilty about this whole feather bearer thing. Guilty. Guess I've never kept it a secret from Max. You'd be surprised how offended dogs get when you have the second thoughts about the prize dangled in front of their noses, year after year while they were forced to participate in arenas. It's not like every dog cares about feathers. Most just want the high rankings so they pretty much can do whatever they please on the island. You can live a life just fine without the feather itself, which is not the sole purpose of the arenas. I just feel hypocritical speaking ill of holding such power when I'm the one that holds it. As we continue walking, I spot a sign that has a similar red lettering to Chunwen's uniform in the photo, and take it out to compare. Do you think that could be the logo? Mamao Enterprises? See, red font, slightly slanted. It's missing that oval around it, though. You're right. Features, font size, color. Perhaps one hot encoding of flourishes around the words. What are you talking about? Oh, sorry, just a habit. Let's keep looking. We head down the next block. Quaylee pulls up her hologram map and marks the route we've walked so far. Oh my god, there's so much talking, dude. Just get me through this, come on. Just wondering, what were you expecting when you were gunning for the feather? Like, what did you plan to do with it after you won it? If you had any specific plans for it at all. Well, it's funny because in the very beginning, as a puppy, I wasn't interested in the feather in the slightest. The challenger from yesterday was actually one of the dogs that spurred me to aim further higher than I would have. Her name is Hyphen. Hyphen? The name rings a bell. Didn't you two have a really big fallout? I remember reading about it on some news articles. I guess that happened. Want to talk about it? I'm not sure about that. Oh, come on, just a bit. You seem to have something to say about it. No, I don't trust you. Well, first of all, what do you know about the fallout? I remember back when that happened, she gave some interviews that accused you of being a white dot. The rumors were never confirmed, though. Or dogs just didn't care. Suppose you found those interviews in your news archives? Yep, it was a hassle, I tell you. Nothing was digitalized. Not digitized? Okay. Anything else you found out about her? Well, she ended up with rank 45 after all her arenas. Huh. So not awful per se, but just good enough to not have a difficult life. I wonder if all her ambition disappeared when she realized she couldn't win against you, whether in the arenas or the real world. With the way she was smearing you publicly, she really seemed set on ruining your private life. I think she was just focused on the wrong thing. Maybe if she directed all that energy towards her actual arena, she'd have done better than rank 45. How'd you find that anyway? I thought ranking databases aren't published. Oh, come on, I found that much out about you just from arena information. You think I wouldn't have remembered some things about your competitors? Where exactly did you read that her rank was 45, though? I just guesstimated it from her other arenas. See, I don't trust her! I feel like you're hiding something. Alright, I do have some access to certain ranking information, but I can't say more than that. Just when I start to trust her, there's stuff like this. She knows way too much to be a normal dog. Fine. But expect to tell me about it soon. Whatever it is you have access to could be very useful. Will do, I promise. That ended up being very helpful. I'd love to get my paws on whatever access Quayle has. Sometime later. We're still walking. I just want to get to the end of the day. We cover another 2 blocks, scanning the signage for the logo on my brother's uniform with some false alarms. I take photos of those we confirm to not be a match just in case. Of course, I also photograph the ones that are still ambiguous. I wonder if I could figure out which dogs are going to re-challenge me. I suppose it's only dogs that have participated in an arena with you, hence the re-challenge. Yeah, the fact that the re-challenge arena held the state or the memories of what happened in the past points to them being against dogs I have competed against. Say, Quayle, have you competed in the arenas? I have. But it's strange, it's more like I have memories of them. What do you mean? You know that whole waking up feeling? Like your consciousness is a bit woozy. Like the memories created in the arenas are trying to fuse into your physical body. No, I don't. What do you mean? Oh, whoops. I kind of get what you're saying. The way I think it works is that the memories are being downloaded back to our physical body. That might be what you're describing. Yeah, I do have memories, but not that feeling you get when you know a memory is 100% correct. Like the corresponding muscle memory isn't there. I don't think I noticed a lack of muscle memory. To me, it felt like I did physically carry out the actions in the arenas. Though that could have just been a trick of the mind to reconcile my memories with my physical body. I wonder if your Labrador physique or something genetic isn't fully compatible with the ARI hardware. if the muscle memory is something that is completely absent. Yeah, maybe. We walk along in comfortable silence. We're almost at the end of the last street we plan to scan manually. It's funny how this feels like a regular afternoon in K9, strolling down the street with a lab, chit-chatting. So curious about how she ended up here. Maybe she's also a type of feather holder. What if she's a descendant of the fabled species of dogs that once lived on the island? Ha! My imagination is pretty wild sometimes. Either way, I think her actions so far make her trustworthy enough. Although there's still the deeply rooted thorn in my heart, the fear of another betrayal. But I wonder, will Quaylee be different? Say, Quaylee? I don't normally ask this. I really don't, but what is your rank? No worries, I figured you'd want to know. Wouldn't want to entrust your personal feelings and information to some random dog. She takes out her pendant and flips it face up to show me. 9 large orbs are filled, and 7 of the smaller ones are filled. You're 97, huh? Not bad. Thanks for showing me. Quaylee puts her pendant back in her jacket. No problem. We look down at the last few buildings in the area. Doesn't seem like there's anything matching. Your brother's hint might be pointing to areas further from the MRT station. Like I said, I'll run a graphical analysis first thing when I get back. Alright then, thanks. I should go, but let me know what you find. Alright, Commander Sid. See you back on the Normandy. Later! Why do I feel like she just made a joke I'm not getting? Some time later. Nope. We're gonna pause here. I'm lounging on a chair in Max's apartment, waiting for him to get home. We're gonna pause. We're gonna save. We're gonna continue this on Thursday. It's interesting. I like it. This is further than I got with Matt. We didn't finish the arena re-challenge, so. Oops. Main menu. Yes. Okay. Now there's music again. Right, yeah, we'll do more of this on Thursday. It's cool. It's just, it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of talking. But we started it. And we'll do more of it, and maybe we'll get to an ending. I know that I looked up the Steam page for it before we started, and it says 10 plus endings. Or 10 plus variations on endings, so all your choices do matter. And we'll see what happens, cause I don't know. We'll see. But it's been cool. Thanks for being here though. Thanks for being you and being cool. I hope you're having a great start, load, preferences, or whenever you are. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Come back anytime.